You know that piece of plastic in your wallet? Yep, that one. Most of us use it almost every single day. But do we really get what's happening behind the scenes every time we swipe or tap? Well, it's time we pulled back the curtain and took a closer look.
Because honestly, when it comes to credit cards, there are really only two ways this can go. If you use it right, it's one of the most powerful financial tools you can possibly own. But if you use it incorrectly, well, it becomes a trap that can be incredibly hard to escape. So in this explainer, we're going to make sure you know how to stay on the right path. All right, so to use a credit card wisely, we have to start with the basics. We need to understand the mechanics. What is actually going on every time you swipe that card or click Buy Now?
At its heart, a credit card is pretty simple. It's a tool that lets you borrow money from a bank. It's connected to something called a revolving credit account. All that means is you can borrow and repay money over and over again up to a certain limit, without having to fill out a new loan application every time. So, yeah, every purchase is like a mini loan that you promise to pay back.
Now, obviously, you can't just borrow an infinite amount of money. The bank sets what's called a credit limit, and that's basically the ceiling on your spending. Once you hit that limit, the card's just going to stop working until you pay down some of what you owe.
Okay, next up is a really, really crucial idea, the grace period. Think of it like a magic window of time. It's usually about a month, where the bank's loan is completely free. If you pay back every penny you borrowed before the due date hits, you pay zero interest. Absolutely nothing. So the whole process looks something like this. Let's say you buy a coffee. The bank instantly pays the coffee shop for you. Then, at the end of the month, you pay the bank back. Simple, right? But what happens if you don't pay the bank back in full? And this brings us to the other side of the coin, the danger. This is where that handy tool can turn into a nasty trap, and it all starts with one powerful word: interest. So if you don't pay off your entire balance inside that grace period, the money you still owe starts collecting interest. And here's the thing that so many people miss. It's not just a monthly charge. It's calculated every single day. Let's make this real. Imagine you've got a $10,000 balance on a card with a 26% annual interest rate, or APR. To figure out your daily rate, you just divide that 26% by 365 days in a year. That gives you this tiny, tiny sounding number, 0.071%. But that tiny percentage on a $10,000 balance, that works out to about $7.10. So after just one day, you don't owe $10,000 anymore. You owe $10,007. And here's where the trap really springs. On day 2, the bank charges you interest not on your original balance, but on your new balance, which now includes yesterday's interest. This is called compounding. You're literally paying interest on the interest, and your debt starts growing even faster. The cycle just keeps going, and you can see how quickly this thing begins to snowball. What started as a small daily charge can escalate like crazy, making it harder and harder to ever pay off the original amount you borrowed. This right here is the debt trap in action. And look, it's not just about the interest you're paying. Carrying a high balance also hurts your credit score. One of the key factors they look at is called credit utilization. Basically, lenders want to see that you're using less than 30% of your total available credit. If you go over that, it can look like you're in financial trouble, which makes it way harder to get approved for big loans later on. Okay, I know. After hearing all that, you might be thinking, why would anyone on earth even risk it? Well, it's because if you can avoid that trap, the rewards are huge. So let's flip the script and look at the upside, at what happens when you use credit cards responsibly. When you use a credit card the right way, there are 3 massive benefits. First, it helps you build a strong credit history, which is like a financial report card. Second, it gives you incredible security against fraud. And third, you can earn some seriously valuable rewards. Let's break those down. The security advantage is no joke, a game changer, especially if you shop online. If a thief gets your debit card number, they are taking your cash directly from your bank account. But if they get your credit card number, they're stealing the bank's money, not yours. You just report the fraud and poof, the bank makes the charges disappear. It's a massive layer of protection. And then you've got the rewards. Just by using your card for everyday stuff, things you were going to buy anyway, like groceries or gas, you can earn cash back, travel miles, or even extra purchase protection. You're basically getting paid for spending money you were already going to spend. So here we are. We've got this incredible tool with all these benefits, but it's also a dangerous trap with some really serious consequences.
So how do you get all the good stuff while completely avoiding all the bad? Well, it all boils down to one simple, single, unbreakable rule. That's it. That's the entire secret. Just treat your credit card exactly like you treat your debit card. If you don't have the cash in your bank account to cover a purchase right now, then you just don't put it on the card. Period. The most important point is this. If you pay your full balance on time every single month, you will never, ever pay a penny in interest. That grace period makes the loan completely free. You get all of the benefits, the credit building, the security, the rewards, with absolutely none of the risk. So at the end of the day, a credit card isn't good or bad. It's just a tool. It can be used to build a stronger financial future, or it can be used to dig a deep hole of debt. The outcome is decided entirely by the person holding the card. So the only question left is, how will you use